When you guys come into Zoom, please put yourself on mute. Hello, hello, hello. Hope everyone's doing well.
Recording
Happy
in
New Year's
progress.
Eve to everybody.
You are muted.
Happy New Year's Eve to everybody. Hope everyone's going well. Hello, hello on TikTok. Hello, hello on Zoom. How's everybody doing? Tell me what city you guys are from. Just drop it in the chat so I can know where you guys are from. So for those of you on TikTok, just drop it in the chat where you're from. Those of you who are on Zoom as well, tell me where you guys are from. All right, so this is my first time doing a live broadcast with like doing TikTok and then also doing Zoom. So this is something new. This is probably something that I'll be doing more frequently. And I'm just playing around, seeing what works, what doesn't work, and we're gonna have a good time today. All right. I'm just trying to get everybody in. Yes, it is cold in Atlanta, isn't it? Ugh, it's so cold. I see some folks, some familiar faces in here. Okay. Ethel, hot, cold Atlanta. Yes, it is. It is super cold. I know we have some folks from Jersey, Atlanta, of course, but I'm not sure what other cities we have represented. Okay, we got some more folks coming in. Yes. All right, when you come in, make sure that you put your phone on mute. Those of you who are coming in from Zoom, my folks who are coming in from TikTok, you don't have to be on mute. You're good. All
Hello,
right,
good
so
afternoon.
hey there, DT Ray. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. Happy New Year.
Good afternoon. Happy New Year to you as well. Yes, yes, yes. Hope you're doing well. All right. So I wanted to jump on to just kind of share a few things. I wanted to cook with you guys New Year's Eve. I'm like, they always say what you're doing New Year's Eve, that's what you're going to be doing for the rest of the year. So I wanted you guys to come in and I'm going to make something really simple and easy. And then I'll share the recipe. The folks who actually registered, I'll share the recipe with you guys. So I'll send the email with the recipe. It's real simple. We're just going to do something real, like just small, simple, and beautiful. Okay, guys? Um, for those of you who don't really know me, I just wanted to introduce myself. I am Chef Bee. I'm a raw plant-based chef. I'm a health coach. I'm a mathematician, an educator, all the things, and just really enjoy sharing how to live a plant-based lifestyle with people. And so, for those of you who are on TikTok, um, that's what I talk about. For those of you who are in my community, I always talk about just living your best life with plant-based foods, really everywhere, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the places. That's what I talk about. Because we know that plants just have all the medicine and it can really, if you actually adopt a plant-based lifestyle, it actually can combat and help guard you and protect you from various illnesses and diseases. The things that might affect others, it might not affect you as quickly if you have a plant-based lifestyle. So, and that's a fact. That is a fact. That is not something that I made up. That's research-based. Um, so I wanted to jump on here today. I wanted us to have this live together to, of course, cook with you all, but then I also I want to talk to you about some of the cool things that's coming up this 2026 and then to invite all of you to participate in those offerings. Okay. We've had a real interesting 2025. I would say that for the world, we've had a very interesting 2025. And so I just pray that in 2026, we can move with light, abundance, ease. I pray that for all of you. Prosperity. I pray that all of you get all the things that you are desiring and seeking in your wellness, in your personal life, in your businesses, in your careers, everything. You deserve the absolute best of everything. And so for some of us, me included, there was a lot of movement, a lot of things shifted quickly in 2025. And so, I pray that in 2026, there's a little bit more stability and that some of the momentum that some of us are gaining in the things that we're doing, we can actually see those things actually blossom and come to fruition. Okay. So what am I making today? Oh, yes, Donna. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Donna. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so what am I making today? I'm actually going to make you one of my favorite soups. I was going to do two things. Lori's on here. She is one of my coaching clients. I was going to do two things. I was going to make a soup and a salad, but you know what? I'm just going to do the soup. We're going to keep it real simple because the more things you add to the mix, the more interesting things can be. All right. So I'm just going to do a beautiful soup today. The soup that I'm making for you all is one of my favorite soups. It's called the Ital Caribbean soup. All right, it's called the Ital Caribbean soup. And this soup is made with split peas. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Some of you have never seen split peas, so I'm going to show the folks who are on TikTok what that looks like, and also you guys. So this is split peas. They're green split peas, and then actually I'll show you. We are here at the Healing Me First Wellness Center. This is where I do all my cooking classes. I have dinners and all kinds of things, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So just so you know, you can see I use this one more. This is the yellow split peas. That's the yellow split peas. And then this, of course, is the green split peas. Okay. So today we're going to use the green split peas. Really, they have about the same flavor profile. Um, but most foods have multiple varieties. Most foods have multiple varieties. So we're going to use this today. We're going to use the split peas. And then I also have these veggies. We have some carrots. We have an onion in here, peppers. All right. I have some sweet potatoes. Actually, let me tell you about these sweet potatoes. There was a food drive. And, in Atlanta, there's a lot of food sharing, not only with the farms and things of that nature, and I'm sure it's everywhere too, but there was a food drive and someone had so many things. They had potatoes, they had onions, they had butternut squash, they had everything. And they was just like, Chef B, do you need these? And I was like, yeah, I'll take them. I'll take them. I'll have some. So I have some sweet potatoes. We have some red peppers under here. So I'm making a small batch of this soup because it's going to only be for me and maybe one or two other people. So I'm not going to make a ton of soup. All right. And then we're going to also use coconut milk. All right, we're going to use coconut milk. And then we're going to use this. I'm going to show you, this is chickpea broth. This is chickpea broth. Can you see that? That's chickpea broth. So let me tell you a little bit about this. So I make a lot of chickpeas and I use them for so many different things. I use them to make my pastries. I do a savory sausage pastry that I sell every week. And I always make chickpeas. Like I have the dry chickpeas. Let me show you what that looks like. I got everything close by. So I have these dry chickpeas. And then what I do is I put them in here. That's my Instapot. And then what I do is I cook them, and then when I cook them, they basically produce this. So I actually don't throw it away, and I don't suggest that you guys throw it away either. What you want to do is you want to keep the chickpea broth because you can use it for soups. All right. And so that's what we're going to do. This is going to be the broth. This is going to be the broth for our soup. So this chickpea liquid has a little bit of salt because I added salt while I was cooking them. They also have a little bit of garlic in there. So this is a broth, guys. This is a broth that you've added some good stuff to it. It has the essence of the chickpea, and you can use this to, do your thing. All right. So what I want to do, if you have questions, please ask questions. I'm going to keep my chat up. If you have questions, ask. It says, what's the difference between green and yellow split peas and green and yellow lentils? So just so you know, it's just a different variety of the same food. So whenever you see, like for example, like this is a pepper, this is a red pepper, this is a yellow pepper. They're still peppers, they're still in the pepper family. And this is just a different variety of a pepper that produces a red color, and this one produces a yellow color. All right. It's no different than the split peas. This produces a green color, the other one produces a yellow color. All right. So you always will have varieties of different foods that you just don't even think of. They're subtle, but when you start studying plants, you see, oh my goodness, there's all these different ones. And with that, they have different flavors. Now, I'll be honest with you, the green split peas and the yellow split peas, they don't really taste that different to me. Because, like, I typically use this in a soup. And so if I don't have these, I just kind of go with this one. But I haven't really found that they taste that much different. They also, sometimes the difference will be how they cook. Some of them might cook faster than the other. So the textures, that might be a difference. These again, they're about the same when you cook them. They'll break down quicker. Now, this one, even though this says green split peas, they call this chana dal. But in my country, we just say yellow split peas. All right. This is a little bit smaller than these. So if you actually look at the circumference of this bean, it's smaller than the circumference of that bean. I don't know if you can see that. Take a look. You see the difference? So the question was, what's the difference between split peas and the green split peas and the yellow split peas? And I'm noticing that the green ones are slightly larger than the yellow ones. To me, there's no difference in the taste. And then another difference would be, of course, when you cook them, how they break down. This one might be a little bit, it takes a little bit longer to break down, get softer than this one. All right. But not too much difference. Not too much difference. I would say the same thing with your green lentils and your yellow lentils. There are all kinds of varieties of lentils. There's the black beluga, there's the French lentils, there's the green lentils. This is a lentil. Let me show you this one. I'm pulling out all the stuff. This is called the red lentil. Look at that. That's a red split lentil. Look at that. That's a red split lentil. All right. And I'm looking to see if I have another one in here, and I don't. This is the red split lentil. This lentil is typically used in Ethiopian cuisine. This one is used often in Ethiopian cuisine. You see that? And then, of course, like the other lentil, because they're a little bit more heartier in flavor, they're used as a substitute when you're making like meatballs, if you're doing like a shepherd's pie or a lentil loaf, things of that nature, you would use more of the French lentil or the green lentil. All right. So these are all good questions. How long could you store any of these peas? Years. If your home is like, I would say if your home is the temperature of your home is controlled, then you can store beans in your home for a couple of years. All right. They're easily stored because they're dried. I wouldn't put them in the refrigerator. You can do what I'm doing. You can store them inside of a cabinet, but they'll last for years. Let's see what this says. Let's just look. It just says, now look at this. This just tells you the pack date. It says December 19th, 2025. That's when they packed this. So that wasn't too long ago. That was just a couple weeks ago. It does not have an expiration date on here. All right. So keep that in mind. They don't have an expiration date on there. So yeah, you can have those beans for a long, long time. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Let me know. Any other questions? These are great questions, by the way. Great questions. Great, great questions. All right, just keep them coming as you think of them. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to move this out the way. Let me rinse off my potatoes and my carrots real quick. And then what we'll do is we'll just start building our pot. Okay, we'll start building our pot and we'll start getting stuff ready. So give me a second. Let me just rinse this off. All right, I'm back. Fast. All right, so I just rinsed these off, my carrots. I don't need to rinse off my onions. Like I don't need to do that. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the Instapot. I love this Instapot because it makes cooking quick and fast and beautiful and easy. Okay. So we're gonna use the Instapot and I'm gonna just set it right now. I'm gonna put it on 6 minutes. Now the total time once everything kind of gets up to heating, it's going to be 6 minutes. All right. So what we're going to do, actually, I have some stuff in here. Let me pull this out. All right. All right. So I'm going to put the liquid in here. So that's in. Okay. Do you rinse vegetables in white vinegar or water? I just scrub them with water, but you can do that too. These are organic sweet potatoes and carrots, so there's no need to really do a whole lot because they didn't have any pesticides on them when they were grown. All right, but I typically just rinse them off and you know, they look so clean already. You can even see the difference. It looks so clean. You see that? So you're good to go. All right. So what I do next is just kind of pull off those little pieces, and then I'm going to kind of cut these in chunks like this. Right? Can y'all see that? I'm telling you, when I cook, y'all, people, I love cooking. I just want y'all to know. Love cooking. And it does not take me a long time to cook because I try to make it as simple as possible. So I added the carrots in. All right. I'm gonna add in, let me show you how much. I'm gonna measure out a cup of the split peas. So we have a cup in, okay? And I'm making a small batch for me, all right? And then the sweet potatoes, I'm gonna add those in. So while I'm cutting this up, tell me what kinds of things are people doing for New Year's Eve? I knew I couldn't do this class later in the evening because people are getting ready to go party. So what kind of things are y'all preparing to do tonight? If you're going out, let me know where. If you guys are staying home, that's cool too. But I'm curious what y'all doing tonight. Anybody? Or you still working it out? You still working out your plans? I was supposed to do a cooking class um, tonight, but the folks who were going to do the class, they actually canceled. So no cooking class. I cooked my black eyed peas and collard greens earlier today. Oh, yes, that's right. for good luck, right? Ah, thank you for that reminder. I think I'm gonna go on ahead to the store after this, after we hang out and do the same thing. I love that. That's great. All right, so I've added in thus far three sweet potatoes. Notice they're really tiny. They're not that big, right? Look at that. They're small, right? So this is perfect. And then okay, watching the ball drop in my PJs. I love that. I love that. That's a good one. Yes, I am probably going to head to Atlanta to hang out with family. I think I might do that. If I get a little too comfortable, it might not happen. It might not happen. Uh-oh, somebody's calling. Hold on. All right, there we go. Somebody called. Sorry about that, guys. All my TikTok folks. All right, so now I have this onion and I'm cutting up the onion. I'm going to use all of it because I want it to be nice and rich. Okay. The other thing I want to get, and I can't believe I didn't pull it out, I'm going to actually get a piece of celery, a couple stalks of celery. When you're doing a soup, celery is just so nice, you know? It just adds something nice to your soups and your stews. So I just keep it in the house right now. What are the nutrients of the purple potatoes? Nothing set for this evening. All right. So when you talk about low glycemic foods, purple potatoes would be considered one of those. It's a low glycemic food, which means that it doesn't spike your blood sugar. That's a great question. It has antioxidants, so that purple color is going to give you some antioxidants as well. And it's a really good carb to eat, all right? Because it's a slow burning carb. It's a slow burning carb. So it's not going to, get you all hyped up quick. What it's going to do is just slowly, burn off and do its thing. So I would definitely, if you're someone who is looking to diversify your carbs, you can do sweet potato. You can do purple sweet potatoes. There's also a few other kinds. There's the Japanese sweet potatoes. So they have a purple outside, but then inside they're white and they have a sweetness to them. Those are also wonderful for people who are diabetic. They don't spike your blood sugar. So for, some of us, we have to really watch what we're eating because, it makes, even though it's a healthy thing, it's not necessarily the most healthiest thing for us. And so sweet potatoes, those are good. Purple sweet potatoes in particular are really, really nice. I hope I answered your question, Ethel. All right. Any other questions? Let me go get my celery. All right. I'm going to get my celery. All right. And I got one stock of celery coming. Because again, I don't need much. They're big too. Look, this is organic celery. I'm going to take one of these and then we'll cut them up, rinse them off real good, of course. And then we're almost done setting up this pot. Okay. We're almost done. Rinse this off. Okay.
Jeff B, you want us to ask you questions on the mic or in the chat?
You
What's
can ask
easiest
in
for
the
you?
chat. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You can ask in the chat. If you want to ask on the mic, you can too. That's fine. I am recording this, so whatever you desire, that's okay. You have a question?
Okay.
You have a question?
The question is, should we be watching you or follow or cooking alongside you, or
It's
does it matter
whatever you
whether you're
want to
here?
do. Whatever you want
Cool.
to
All
do.
right.
Yeah, whatever
Thank
you
you.
want to
Thank you.
do. Yes, I know. Look, we had a vended yesterday, so I didn't get the ingredient list out in time. So I didn't have the expectation of you actually cooking with me. If you have some of these items that you want to pull together and share with me, that would be amazing. Absolutely. That would be great.
Okay. I'm
But
I'm
there's no
following.
expectation
I'm
of that.
cooking alongside you.
Oh, you are, Donna? That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so let me show you what's happening in here right now. Okay. So this is my stock. I have the onions, I have the celery, I got the carrots in there, all of that. And then I'm going to add in my peppers. I got peppers, right? My beautiful little baby. These are snacking peppers. And I have three different colors. I don't know if you see them. There's this yellow color, the red, and then this orange. See that? Yellow, red, and orange. So we're going to add that to it. And then I'm also going to add in some coconut milk. You cannot have a nice ital soup without coconut milk. All right. So yeah, you can ask. You can ask whatever you desire. Please keep the questions coming. All right, so that's going in. Let me tell you, this soup right here in New York, growing up in Brooklyn, on the weekends, you have all kinds of interesting characters just roaming the streets of New York, people trying to make money, you know? And my mom had a shop. She had a hair salon. And all kinds of people came in that hair salon from all parts of the Caribbean, Trinidad, Aruba, St. Vincent, Haiti, you name it. And I remember this one guy, he had this big old pot. This would be on Saturdays. He had this big old pot with corn and it was seasoned so well. It was so delicious. And they would sell the corn in it's almost like soup, but it was mostly corn. But it was flavored really, really rich and delicious. Just good stuff. This soup reminds me of those moments back in New York. All right, let me get where are you? So I'm gonna open this up and add this to the mix. So this is just this little can of coconut milk, just to give it some nice little flavor. Okay. And it already smells good. Once you put the coconut milk in, amazing. It smells amazing. All right, so now aromatics. All right. I have here, I'm going to use this. I actually have some this is from the carrot. All right. So think about what I'm saying. You know how you get like fresh organic carrots from the farm and then they have those fronds? I usually keep them because a lot of times people throw them away, but those are full of flavor. You can use them in seasonings. You can do all kind of stuff. So I just dried them. I have like a little countertop. I have this and I also have mint. And even look, I have little orange peels that I'm drying because you can repurpose those things for something else. You don't have to throw it all away. So I'm going to take some of this carrot frond and I'm going to use it as a seasoning for our soup. Okay. So with this, I'm going to just kind of crumble it up like this. I'm going to take off the long stemmy parts, but literally it's like it's crumbling as like a little like like a spice, right? And I'm gonna drop it in to the pot like this. Look at what I'm doing. Okay, that's a seasoning. It's a seasoning. So I'm going to put this in here. Okay. The next thing I'm gonna add some garlic. Got a couple cloves of garlic here. Y'all, this thing is smelling good already. Ethel, did you put the coconut milk in? Did you use the coconut milk? And then is corn hard for the body to process? It oftentimes comes out the same way goes in. Okay, listen, that's a good question. There is some people cannot process corn or digest corn properly. And if it's coming out the same way that it went in, that means that you did not chew it properly. you should be chewing your food at least 25 to 30 times. If the corn is coming out the same way that it came in, that means that person not chewing proper. They're not chewing the food properly. That shouldn't happen. But I think everybody's different. Some people do have a hard time digesting corn. Corn is in a lot of different products, so you have to be careful for sure. But I would say you gotta see what kind of person you are. In addition to that, if you know that you're having a hard time digesting corn or other foods, what you might want to do is start taking some digestive enzymes. Okay. Look what I'm going to add next. I'm adding in some coriander. This is coriander. Show you coriander. All right. This is a little question. Do you guys know where coriander comes from? Do you guys know where coriander comes from? Peggy, I'm going to answer your question in a moment. Hold on. All right, Ethel, I hope I answered your question. Give me a thumbs up if I have. Peggy, I'm going to answer your question in a minute. Does anyone know where coriander comes from? Peggy is right. All right, so cilantro. Yes, this is the seed of cilantro. This is the cilantro seed, okay? And then they grind it up and they make coriander ground or coriander powder. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. So we're adding in some, I have this little spoon. We're gonna add in some of the coriander. Okay. That's in. We got, okay, so let me answer the question that Peggy asked the question. Doesn't drying the carrot tops and orange skin on the countertop attract bugs? No. I think it depends on your space. Like this house, I usually keep it cold because this is my headquarters for my business. So I don't live here, but because I know I do events and we might have like I'm drying food, I usually keep the temperature here on the colder side. So there aren't bugs or any of those things here. All right. That's a great question. And once it dries completely, then I usually bag it up and put it in something. I also have dehydrators as well. So that helps to add to the drying process as well. So no, it does not attract bugs on the countertop. I think it depends on your house. If your temperature in the house is not controlled and it's more on the warmer side, yes, it will attract fruit flies, particularly in the spring and the warmer seasons. In the winter, it's going to take longer for things to come around because it's so cold. Bugs don't like the cold. They can't exist well in the cold. They will die. So, yeah, I think if you turn the temperature down in your home and you dry some things just for, a few weeks, you should be good. The other way that you can dry things, let me see if I have a bag. Yes. So look at this. If you get a paper bag and you put the things that you want to dry in there, and then like put a clip and just leave it somewhere, the paper will absorb all the moisture. And then like in 2 weeks, you can even write what's inside so that you don't open it. This and then the date that you actually did it so that you can track it. You can have nice dried herbs. This is a natural way to dry herbs that's gonna help with not attracting bugs if you're a little nervous about putting it on your countertop. You can always put in a paper bag, staple it, or put a little clip, label it, put the date when you started, and then just check it out and see, is it all dry? And if it is, crumble everything up, put it inside of a container, dried herbs. That's how you can do that. I hope that was a helpful little tip. All right. Any other questions? Let me look. Let me look and see if I missed anything. Okay, no, I didn't miss anything. All right. So the other thing I'm going to add in here is a little bit of salt. Not much, but I'm going to add in some salt. So this is an ital soup. So ital means you're not using a lot. I'm actually breaking some of the rules. But with the ital soup, you don't use a lot of salt, if any at all, because this is very much a Rasta style soup. I want y'all to see this thing, man. So it's so nice. I mean, I'm going to show you. I'm going to actually unplug this real quick and show you what's happening. Look, do y'all see that? Do y'all see that? So we got everything going. It's marinating. It's doing this thing. And then it's hot already, as you can see, kind of is steaming. And then I'm going to just leave it like that. It's set at 6 minutes, and then that's it. Okay. So I'm going to clean up, and while that's cooking, just kind of share with you some things. If you have other questions, you can ask. Okay, I see another one. What is your liquid? Chickpea juice? Yes, that's what we said, Donna. You might have come in late on that. We used the broth from when I made chickpeas earlier. I usually reserve that broth. And when I reserve that broth, I basically repurpose it to make soups and stews and things of that nature because, there's no need to throw it away. And so I use that for our broth today because it has flavor. I flavored mine with salt and a little bit of garlic. Okay. So this, y'all, it smells so good already. It's so good. So it's doing its thing. And then I'm going to just clean up, put everything away, and then we can chat. Okay. So what's coming up in 2026 with me? So like I said, we're here at the Healing Me First Wellness Center, which is the headquarters for Nyansapo Wellness Institute. That's the name of my company. All right. Nyansapo Wellness Institute. And here, for those of you who may not know, at the Nyansapo Wellness Institute, what we do is we help people to transition to a plant-based diet. That's what we do. We help people transition to a plant-based diet. Some people have a hard time making that shift when they have to because their eating habits, their lifestyle habits, they might have gotten some diagnosis. Their doctor's like, you need to make a change, but they don't necessarily know how to make that change. So what we do at Nyansapo Wellness Institute is we help people make that change. Okay. And how do we do that? We do that by doing these cooking classes. I'll tell you about that. We do that by doing challenges, wellness challenges. I'll tell you about that. We also do coaching. So if you're someone who's like, man, I really just need to work with someone on an ongoing basis to shift my mindset around what I'm doing, how I'm living, then you might need a coach. You might need a health coach. All right. Um, so let's talk a little bit about the cooking classes. So when we started the Wellness Center 2 years ago, my intention was to do cooking classes, small retreats, of course, doing coaching and those things. We do all of those things. All right. What has now picked up a little bit more steam is our cooking classes. So we do these cooking class slash dinner experiences here once a week where we teach people how to make things that are in their mind difficult to make. We make them plant-based. Okay. Let's see, what's that? Okay, I don't know what that is. And so it's been amazing, y'all. People are coming from all walks of life. I had two guests here from China a few nights ago, a gentleman from Jordan. And so, I have a Mediterranean class right now, an Italian making class right now, and then a vegan sushi class. So people come and they want to learn how to make some of the things that they enjoy eating, but make it healthily. And so that's what we do. We show them how to do that. Chef B is a great coach. Oh, thank you, Lori. She gives great ideas to transition to healthy eating. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that feedback, Lori. That's nice. I like the coaching technique you used with Stephanie on the Exodus Summit podcast. Thank you. You were there, Peggy. Yay. So I was recently on Stephanie Perry. If you guys don't know who she is, she's this beautiful woman, beautiful sister. She's my coach for YouTube. And she is one of the co-founders of the Exodus Summit. And she's been talking for some time about shifting her diet and how she eats. And she had me on there coaching her, which was wonderful. So we had a lot of fun on Saturday doing that. So I'm so glad you liked that, Peggy. That was cool. So yes, we do the cooking classes. We do them live and we also do them virtual, right? So most of the cooking classes that we offer are live. However, if someone said to me, "Hey, I'm in New Jersey," it's like, yes, I got you. I can do a cooking class with you, um, even though you're in Jersey, because right now the demand is live, but that doesn't mean we don't offer virtual as well. We do that. So you can do that. You can plug in that way. You can also plug in with our our challenges. So we have a hydration challenge. It's called Address Your Thirst First. So hydration challenge is coming up January 5th. And one of the reasons why I decided that I wanted to start doing these challenges is because people love challenges. They want to see what they're made of. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to get momentum going in your community. And hydration is such a critical one of those things that people need to do, but they're not always motivated to make it happen, you know? So what I decided to do was create this hydration challenge, and we'll be on cycle 4 for our hydration challenge when we do it in January. And so the goal of that challenge is really to get as many Black women drinking more water as possible because it's something that we all have a challenge with. We don't want to go to the bathroom. We just forget about it. Some of us don't like the way water tastes. It's just one of those things that is obvious, but it's not something that we all just prioritize. But we need to because our body really depends on it. All right, let me look here. Yes, I enjoyed the kale salad so much. I went to the 215 Loretto address to get it, to get some more rather than ordering online. Thank you so much, Shabby. Oh, you sweet Ethel. Thank you. Yeah, so we have that hydration challenge coming up. We do them pretty regularly because it's so important. And I just want as many women to participate. And it's really not just for women, it's for everyone. But what I find is that we deal with kidney disease the most because of the kinds of work that we're dealing with. A lot of women, as you know, are caregivers, and we work in spaces where we can't go to the bathroom as frequently as we would like. And so it really impacts us over a long period of time, and we don't realize how it impacts us. All right. All right, so we have the hydration challenge coming up, and we have my coaching program. So I do two kinds of coaching for people. I do wellness coaching, and I also offer business coaching as well. All right. So with the wellness coaching, we work with myself, we work with a dietitian, and we really try to help you to get on track with the kinds of foods that you need to be eating, along with the lifestyle shift. So really just having you set goals and really let's talk through like what might be holding you back from doing the things that you need to do. All right. So that's the wellness coaching part. Let's see. Since the Stephanie P interview, I have significantly increased my water intake. Yeah, that's good. Peggy, you need to join the challenge. What's up? You need to join that challenge. So it's good that you have significantly increased your water, and I want you to know as much as you possibly can about all the different nuanced aspects about drinking more water. All right. I want everybody to know. I want everybody to get on board with this. And it's not just about drinking water, but it's about also hydrating properly. So one of the reasons why I'm doing a soup is because it's cold outside, it's dry, and, like I said, not everybody wants to drink water, plain old water, when it's cold and dry outside. You want something that's warming, something that's nourishing. And so you could do a soup because the soup is going to help you get what you need. Guys, this thing is going to be done in a minute. This is locked. I can't even open it anymore. So that thing is almost done. And then we also do wellness, we do wellness coaching and we also do business coaching. All right. So with my business coaching, if you have a business concept that you are interested in getting off the ground, sometimes it's hard for people to do that because they're overwhelmed. There's so many pieces to creating a business, and they just don't necessarily know what to do first. And so, what we do in the business coaching program is we really help you to figure out what it is that's important to you. And then, like what kinds of things you want to focus on with your business. And then we just kind of go from there. In addition to that, we really prioritize wellness. So as people start their businesses, they doing all the things. I mean, I know personally from having my business, sometimes you just get so overwhelmed with all the things that you have to do that you don't prioritize taking care of yourself. And so even though you want to start this business, even though you want to do all these things, it's really critical that you prioritize your wellness. And so we talk about that piece as well. We prioritize the wellness piece as well. Okay. All right. So the other thing that's coming online, I am really wanting to do small retreats here at the Wellness Center. Um, just like a day retreat. I want to kind of kick that back off. A couple years ago, I started doing retreats where I was going abroad. I actually took several groups to Jamaica. Then, of course, you know, life happens, and then you just kind of take a break from all of that. So I want to get that back going. I want to start with some local retreats here in Atlanta, here at the wellness space that we have, and then we can branch off from there. So I want you guys to be looking for some of those kinds of activities from me in 2026. The other thing that we have is our meal prep program. Okay. We have something called Essential Meals to Go. So it is a plant-based meal prep program. So we make ready-to-eat, internationally inspired meals for folks who are on the go. They don't want to cook. They have no desire to cook. They just want their foods to be ready to go and they want them to be delicious. And so that's where we come in. We help folks do all of that. They get good food. They don't have to cook it. They just have to eat it. And we enjoy making those foods for them on a weekly basis. So if you're someone who is looking to really think about transitioning into a healthier lifestyle, then you might be interested in our meal prep program. We have three different plans. We have our 3-day plan, our 6-meal plan, and our 8-meal plan. And those can be used however you desire them to be used. You could use them once a week, bi-weekly, monthly. Some people just like having extra meals in the refrigerator that they can rely on, that they can pull whenever they need to. But they still want to actually cook, they still want to prepare things. But just in case they don't, they want to have something that they can grab. And so that would be like our smallest meal plan. But then if you're trying to eat for the week, you might be interested in some of the larger plans, like the Energize Me plan, that's 6 meals. And then the biggest plan has 8 meals. All of our meals come with 2 drinks and a snack. All right. We want to give you guys a complete experience because I know that after I eat something good, I'd be like, "Mm, mm, mm, I want something sweet to munch on." So all of that, you get all of those things when you get our meal prep. We do have a subscription program, and our subscription program basically gives you a 10% discount if you commit to working with us weekly. All right. And that's at any of the levels that we just talked about. So it's a nice way to save money if you do it that way. If you decided, you know what, I don't want to do weekly, I want to do bi-weekly, then we do that too. It's 5% off if you want to do bi-weekly. Some people don't want to make that big commitment financially. We get it. And then you get a $5 discount if you decide to do it on a monthly basis. But we do have the subscription program for your convenience, just to make sure that you're getting what it is that you need. All right, you guys can ask any questions that you want. All right, so we talked about meal prep, we talked about the coaching program, we talked about retreats, we talked about cooking classes, we talked about the hydration challenge. If any of you have questions about any of those offerings, let me know. Let me know. All right. I will say it is my desire to have a space. It's always been my desire to have a space that my clients can come to retreat. You know, this is a very special house to me. I've had this house for a long time, and it's always been a place of refuge for me. And even though I don't live here anymore, I really pride myself in the fact that I've had it so long and that it could be that for other people, whether they're coming here to learn how to cook or we're doing coaching and I'm working with you, you know, on a bigger project. This space is really has great energy. And, you know, I just really wanted to open up the space to people to have that experience. Because, you know, not everybody has a place that they can come to or a person that they can come to talk to about whatever it is that they're dealing with as it relates to being better, their well-being, shifting their habits. You know, it's revolutionary, y'all, to even be thinking and doing these things because most people are just trying to survive. So you're not only surviving, but you're like doing the challenging work of trying to be better, trying to be elevated than where you once were. That's a big deal. And you want to know that you have a community behind you to do it. Oh, I didn't mention there's one last thing. We have a community. We have our Healing Me First community that's on school. And so in that community, that's where the challenge is hosted. And we also have weekly calls. Depending on what level you're at, you would have an accountability buddy, and then you also have weekly calls where we're checking in. We're creating plans for you on, you know, how you can really level up your wellness. Different things that you say that you really want to work on. That's what we focus on in that community. All right, so there's a question, the hydration challenge. I couldn't get the mint, so I got peppermint from the local Ellenwood farmer. Will that be the same as mint? The tea I got on Saturday was great. Yeah. So yeah, mint, peppermint. One's gonna be a little bit stronger than the other, but yeah, that's fine. Um, let's see. Okay, so I think that's the only question that came in. All right, y'all, look. It's done. It's done. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Do you see that? What we're gonna do is we're gonna let all the steam out. We're gonna let all the steam out. Typically, what I do is I will let it naturally come down and do its thing. But because we're on this live, it's almost 2 o'clock, which is perfect, right? We did a lot in an hour. That's amazing. We chatted and then we're almost done with our soup. I wanted to just expedite it. So I'm going to pull the soup out of here once this simmers down. I'm listening for a click. If you hear the click before me, then boom. And then we'll show you what this beautiful soup looks like. Yeah. So yes, we have our Healing Me First community. That's something else that you can join. We'll be pumping that up in the new year as well, because people need a space to come to. Whether it's virtual or in person, you need to find your people. You need to find your tribe, people who are like you, thinking like you, wanting to strive and improve themselves. And sometimes in our communities, we don't have folks like us. We're the oddball. You're talking about eating plant-based and eating vegetarian, and people looking at you like, what you talking about? Wow, why are you doing that? They're mad that you're trying to help yourself. You're trying to be better, and they're mad at you for trying to be better. And so with that, you want to find your people who are on the same path as you so that you can grow with them, right? That's really what communities are all about. So that y'all can travel together, you can be together, you can do all kind of stuff together. You know what I'm saying? So this is the goal. This is the goal. And so this is why we created the Healing Me First membership, so that people have a space to come to and be and chat and connect and vibe. And so we have weekly check-ins, usually check in like Tuesday nights or whatever night we decide we're going to meet. I was supposed to meet one of my folks last night, but we said, you know what? We're going to have this call today, and that will be part of the check-in. Oh, I don't know if you heard it, but I heard the click. So now I can open this. All right, y'all, it's hot. It's hot. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stir my soup. Everything looks good. All right, now let me say this. This is hot, so I'm not going to pick it up. I'm going to ladle some of this out for you to see. I want to add some stuff to it, though. All right, let me go get one thing. Let me go get one thing. All right, so I got this. This is called umami seasoning. You see that? Umami seasoning. And this is like a mushroom seasoning. It's going to help to balance the flavor of the food. So I'm going to add in 2 of these. Okay. It just really gives it great flavor. We could also add some pepper sauce to this too, to make it real like nice and hot. All right. All right, now, what am I going to do? We're going to plate. All right. So I have a ladle here. Put some in here. And like you can do 2 things. You can either make this chunky, keep it chunky like how we doing, or what you could do is you could get like an immersion blender and you can put it in here and smooth it out and make it like a little, kind of like a butternut squash soup where it's very smooth and everything's incorporated. You could do that too. So look, this is the final result. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Push it back here. Yeah, I think you can see that. And then we can even add some of those carrot, the herbs on top. Here, let's see. All right. Any questions about this? Simple, right? You see how simple that was? Look at that suit. It's so pretty. See if I can show my TikTokers. See that? And my Zoomers. See? All right. Now we got to taste it to see how good it tastes. Okay, let me take this out. Let's see. Ooh! Oh my God. Mm-mm-mm. Y'all, it's so good. It's delicious. It's like perfect for this time of year because it's so cold outside. It's perfect. It's perfect. All right. So, any closing remarks? Anything y'all want to say to me or ask? My Zoomers, my TikTokers. It's right at 2 o'clock, so I'm gonna jump off. But I just wanted to share different ways that y'all could plug in with me in 2026. You have cooking classes, right? Hold on. Okay, hold on, y'all. This is doing something. Okay. You have cooking classes. You have the hydration challenge, which I hope you guys participate in. You have coaching. If you want to get some health coaching with me, we could do it. Business coaching. If you want to do that, if you want to be a member of our community. So I will send you the folks who registered. If there's anyone in the live that is interested in any of what we're talking about, please DM me and you know, give me your email address and I will send you what I'm going to send my folks who are on Zoom, which is, just all of our offerings and how you can plug in with us in 2026. Thank you, Lori. Ethel, thank you. And where can I get the last seasonings? Um, the last seasonings. Oh, the umami. So you would probably go to like an Asian market and get that. Okay. I can send you a link to that when I send out the recording and also the list of ways that you can connect with us in 2026. Donna, I enjoy cooking alongside you. The hydration challenge is great. I will follow up. Thank you. Peggy, thank you. Happy, healthy new year. Yes. So, for those, if you are here on live and you're interested in what we shared, please make sure that you email me and I will send you all the things that I'm sending my folks who are on Zoom. My Zoom beautiful people, all of y'all, happy New Year's. Please take care of yourselves. I hope this isn't the last time that we're connecting. It's so many opportunities to grow and elevate yourself for 2026. Do your work. I always tell people lock in and focus on you and do your work. Once you do that, it don't matter what else is happening out there. It just doesn't. Because some of these things we can't even control. What you can control is you. What you can control is you. So that's where you want to start and that's where you want to focus. You want to focus on you. Okay? So you got to ask yourself, as we said on that conversation with Stephanie on her YouTube, you got to figure out what it is that you want to create for yourself. You got to figure that part out first because all the other stuff won't stick if you don't have a clear commitment to you about what it is you're trying to commit to and be and how you want to be in the world. And so you got to start there. And then once we figure that part out and that feels like it's something important enough for you to do, then we can start doing other things. Well, the mindset piece is one of the most critical parts of change. It just is. So I'm done. I'll be in touch. If you need me, reach out to us. You know how to reach me. I will be sending a follow-up email to my folks. If you need anything from my TikTokers, just email me as well. DM me with your email, and I got you. And for my Zoomers, it's been a pleasure talking to y'all. And for those of you who are more than just on this live, I actually work with you. It's been a pleasure working with you in 2025, and I pray and hope that the work continues with me and with us in 2026. Okay? All right, so y'all take care. Be safe out there. Don't be going out there shaking your ass too much. Have a good time, but be safe. All right, y'all take care and have an amazing New Year's Eve and New Year's 2026. All right, guys? Peace.